Okay, quickly, what do we learn in this section, which is section 8.4, which is talking about rhombuses, rectangles, and squares? A rhombus is a parallelogram, a rectangle is a parallelogram, and a square is a parallelogram, so it has all properties. Now, a rhombus is going to have all sides are going to be congruent. A rectangle will have all sides at 90 degrees. And a square are like these two combined. We have all 90 degrees and we have congruent sides. We have also some properties of diagonals. Everything is congruent here. And the properties of a rhombus diagonal, it's going to be 90 degrees there. And also this angle is congruent to that angle, which is congruent to this angle. And these angles are all congruent there as well. So these four are congruent, and these four are congruent. All right, let's do some problems. If we draw the ABCD, it's a rhombus. We have A, B, C, D. So let's label it A, B, C, and D. And we're going to say angle ABC is congruent to CDA. So ABC, so this angle is congruent to CDA. Now I would say that that is true because a rhombus is a parallelogram. And a parallelogram's opposite angles are going to be congruent. Also, opposite sides are congruent. I could just keep on going. But actually, a rhombus, all sides will be equal. But we know that this is true. ABC will be congruent to CDA. All right, let's draw the next one. If we draw FGHJ, and it's a rectangle, that's all we know is the 90 degrees there. And let's say FG, H, and J. Is angle F congruent to angle H? I would say yes, because they're all 90 degrees. Okay, next one. We want to classify this quadrilateral. Classify means name it. I'm going to say that it's a rhombus, because I know that all four sides are congruent, but it's not a square, it's not a rectangle, because one angle is 91 degrees. That means that this will be 91 degrees. This will be 88, and this will be 88 as well. Make it all 360. Okay, now let's move on to this one down here. Name each quadrilateral. If it's equilateral, what does that mean? That means it only could be a rhombus, or it could be a square as well. Because equilateral means all sides are equal, and a square and a rhombus have all sides that are equal. All right, let's go on to this one. If we look at 11, well, I know that I can classify this as a square because we have 90, 90, 90, 90, congruent, 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 congruent. And I can find out x because I know 3x is going to equal 5x minus 4. That this equals this. And I get, this is 2x minus 4. There's a 0 there. I just minus 3x from both sides. Add 4 to both sides. 4 equals 2x. X equals 2. For y, I have this equals this. So I'll have 2y plus 4 equals 5y plus 1. Subtract 2y from both sides. I get 4 equals 3y plus 1. Then I get 3y, equals 3. And then y equals 1. Okay? Let's move on to the next side. Let's look at 25. In preparation for a storm, that's not that important. A window. So we know we have a window here. That's a window. Maybe like the window looks like that. Have you ever seen a window that looks like that? We have a window is protected by nailing boards diagonally across. So we're going to protect it with diagonal boards across. Okay? By diagonals. The lengths of the board are same, so that means that all the things are congruent. This diagonal is congruent to this diagonal. Can you conclude that the window is a square? I would say no, because maybe it's a rectangle. Okay? Those are my sample problems. I hope you do the other problems. Read them through. It's not too bad, as long as you understand the properties and what they mean.